Hi, my name is Chandra Haynes, and I have a colleague of mine, Zamisha, here, who will be observing my session today with Miss Deja. Um, just some background information on Deja. She's the eldest child in her family. She learned from an early age that she was responsible not only for herself, but also for those in need around her. She often prioritized the needs of others over her own desires. Although she knows how to assert herself, she tends to take on a helper role too frequently, which causes her to lose her sense of personal meaning and identity. So, in today's discussion, I will conduct a lifestyle assessment to uncover her history and her relationship with her family and the root cause of how she evolved as the eldest child, but somehow lost focus on seeking self efficacy along the way. So, Deja, how's things going for you today?
Not too good. I feel lost and confused a little bit. Um, um, I play by everybody else's rules. I'm just tired. I never seem to win.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I mean, if I were you and facing everything that you had to endure daily, I really would be tired, probably frustrated, or even sad. Um, Tell me, is it safe to say that you feel like your life is out of control?
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I felt I was really in the driver's seat of my life. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, from based off of everything you shared with me, it does seem like you do have a lot on your plate and you are taking care of a lot of people, your spouse, your mother, your siblings, and something you've been doing, like you said, since you were a youth.
Mhm.
And even though, your children are out of the house and they're grown now, it seems like you still take the time to be there for them, listen to their needs, and help them out whenever possible. So you kind of never left that role of always being someone to lean on. However, you do really make any time to see any of your friends, and you do not permit yourself to have any time essentially for yourself. And so I can see it sounds like you're finding it difficult to focus on your work and really be productive.
Mhm.
Um, is that what I'm understanding? Does that sound correct?
Yes, you pretty much got it all. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm not even sure I am close to getting it all, but you know, because of all that, I know it's enough to kind of like overload you. So I'm just kind of painting a picture of some of the things I'm hearing you say.
Yes, I would say overloaded is the right thing. I'm totally overloaded. I have to handle it all, get things done, get life back to normal, but I just can't get this focused. I just can't.
Yeah, that there is so much, right? And you get distracted and you start running around without knowing essentially where you're going. It is just a lot, like we're trying to comprehend, and you're worrying, and unfortunately, your cycle just seems to continue throughout your life. Um, yeah,
Yes,
is
I just
that,
have so many problems right now.
yeah. Well, tell me, what would your life look like if, um, you didn't have the current problems that you were dealing with?
I can honestly say I don't know anymore. I wouldn't feel so depressed anymore. I would hope for a better life with my husband and my friends. But I'm really not sure. I don't even know if that's possible. I'm just overwhelmed. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, what we're going to do is try to dive just a bit deeper. Would it be okay if I asked about some important parts of your life?
I guess, yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So tell me about your relationship with your parents.
Me and my parents are close. They leaned on me a lot. As the oldest, I um helped in the house. I helped with my siblings. Um, I was always the one that was responsible. So they always tend to lean on me. I was always told a lot of stuff. So I was the one that was always responsible. And I couldn't really feel like I couldn't really be a kid sometimes.
Right, right. I see. Um, and how did that make you feel?
Like I said, like sometimes I feel like I couldn't be a kid, or even just be myself. I always felt like I had to be older and more mature. I felt like they expected a lot more from me than they did my siblings.
Right. So I mean, I can only imagine how it must have felt when your parents had such high expectations for you and not necessarily for, the siblings. And I'm sure you just wanted to be a kid, and do the things that your other siblings were doing. So that really, really must have made you feel like what you wanted to do in life, as it pertains to just trying to be a kid, just like didn't matter at all.
Yes, yes, that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly it.
Wow. Okay. So we're going to switch gears just a little in reference to your siblings. Can you tell me which one of them was most different from you, and in what way were they different?
Um, my younger sibling. I feel like my younger sibling, she's 2 years younger than me. I feel like she was my parents' favorite. I don't know if it's because she was the youngest or um it's like they always considered her their prized possession. They always dressed her in all the nice stuff. She always had her hair done. Um, they always gave her compliments. They babied her. She got away with everything. She was excellent in school. She was always considered a nerd. But I felt like I would have succeeded in school more if I wasn't so focused on my family stuff, helping my parents a lot. So unfortunately, I wasn't that well in academics. Um, and that's really it. I just always felt like I was always tired because I was always helping, so I was never able to really focus. That's really it.
Yeah. And so I believe what I'm hearing is that growing up, um, your sister received a lot of praise and had seemingly a lot of fun, while you had to take on more mature roles, more adult type even roles, helping out in areas that maybe you felt your parents should have been more apt to step into those roles. And I guess it's possible that you might have some regrets about just not being able to fully experience, your childhood. Um, so how do you how does that all resonate with you now? Like how are you feeling today?
I feel like as a child, I feel like I didn't get enough time to play and enjoy myself. But I find myself doing the same thing that I did as a kid now in my life. I always find myself, I don't put myself first. I put my family, my husband, my kids, my friends. I focus all my attention on them and I don't leave any time for myself. Um, I never really explore my hobbies. I don't really know the type of things I like to do. I'm always focused on my kids and my husband and my friends. I always make sure they're okay. So I don't really have time to make sure I'm okay. So always struggle with putting myself first.
Gotcha. Um, it does sound like you're going through a very tough time, Deja, and it can be challenging to manage things without neglecting your own self. And although your past is super important and it's essential to remember, I want you to know that it's just a reference point. Excuse me. It's not a place where you live anymore. Now, there are still some unresolved issues that need to be addressed so that you can understand the significance of your experience from your younger years, as far as were they intentional or not. How much have they contributed to you growing into the person you are today? Um, what I'm thinking, if it's okay with you, can we end our session now? I think we, took a deep dive today, and so I don't want to overwhelm you too much, but I would like to give you a homework assignment to work on before our next session. Now, this assignment will allow you to dive just a little bit deeper, find some own inner strengths and some possibly your own solutions to things to help better manage your relationships as it pertains to your parents and your other family members. Um, and so how that's going to look, that assignment is I basically would want you to create a list of your early memories, at least 6 stories that took place prior to 8 years old. And then you would just visualize each of those events like a moving picture and pause it at each single frame. Then you would describe what's happening during each moment and essentially how you were feeling during those moments. So you can better like explain your reaction to your situations. Does that sound like something you can do before we meet
Yeah.
again?
Yes, that sounds good. That sounds good. I can do
Okay.
that.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you for your time and I want to thank you for your transparency and being so open and vulnerable today with me. And I look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you. And thank you for your help.
Okay. You're welcome.